Hey guys, it's SickMotion here, and just doing my run through of the patch notes. I'm gonna try really hard to go through them quick here, so it's not a long ass video again. All of this stuff, all of this stuff. Okay, so Deathfire got removed. Long story short, Deathfire's gone. So they balanced a lot of stuff around that happening, but Deathfire, as well as the 3v3 and whatever the other maps are, variant of it, the Torch, is gone as well. So long story short, rest in peace, 2009 to 2015. Damn, it was out for a long time. Overlap and crowd control effects uh, didn't get changed. They got changed, but they didn't get changed. So it hasn't been put into the game yet, I guess. I had a situation the other day where someone was Skarner ulted, so they were suppressed, and then Thresh hooked them, my Thresh, while they were Skarner ulted, and they flashed while they had a Thresh hook in them. And then they were Thresh hooked at the end. So I really noticed man, I can't wait until the overlapping crowd control effects gets fixed. So hopefully that'll get fixed here. I talked a little bit about that in the last video there. Attack, move, commands, and stealth. You can attack, move, and stealth. So if you want to stay stealth, don't do that. Tristana got changed, her E change. Her passive got nerfed. Rapid fire is still the same. Base attack speed, armor, and health all got nerfed a little bit as well. And she has a new visual upgrade and the icons. The W and the E kind of have some cool synergy between them. I think it might be a little bit of a trap trying to use your W as a rocket jump to kill them when they have a lot of E charges on them. I think for newer players that might just be a trap to kill yourself on Tristana unless you're playing, I guess, AP Tristana. But the explosive charge kind of has a cool mechanic. It still has the same passive where it explodes minions, but now it has a satchel. She obviously doesn't have that grievous wounds as far as I know. It shouldn't, but and then the AP ratio on her R went down as well. So AP Tristana can still be a thing. Obviously, there's not just a push R to win combo, and there's no Deathfire, so I'm not sure if that'll still be a thing. But a little bit of changes on Tristana, I think overall should be cool. It's also cool that you can use the explosive shot on a tower, so it'll give her more sieging capabilities, minus her range nerfs, which isn't going to be that much in the end anyway. It'll be what, 2 times 1836, so it is quite a large chunk off, but she'll still have pretty insane range. Ahri gains movement speed when she throws her Q out, which will make for some cool outplay scenarios. Smarter targeting on Foxfire, as well as more damage since there's no Deathfire, as well as her Charm got the 20% damage taken off as well. So overall, she's going to do a lot less burst damage and more sustained damage by the looks of it. I'm not too sure. I never really played that much Ahri. There's a couple of quality of life changes in there as well. And like here, the Spirit Rush is now more forgiving going over walls. The Charm does more damage and has a larger AP ratio, but I think taking that 20% damage off will be a lot more noticeable as a nerf than all of these AD buffs, as well as the Deathfire getting off. Big Akali nerfs, Crescent Slash no longer detonates Mark of the Assassin. That's just going to suck in general for Akali. You were able to hit a Q and then E and then hit a Q and then auto attack. Or you could, if you were in an auto attack range, you could hit the E. Now you can't do any of that, so it's going to be a little more painful, but it'll just be kind of similar to how Akali used to be played, minus the 100 range nerf on Shadow Dance. Now she might just not be like a almost picked, almost banned champion in most games of higher tier rank from what I've seen anymore. Annie, another one of the Deathfire-ish reliant champions, some changes. The Molten Shield, a little bit of a nerf. At level 1, it's cut in half, but it's 10 per 10 total. So as it goes up per level, it's only 10 off at the final level. But her Molten Shield will now interact with Tibbers to make Tibbers run real quick, and Tibbers will also be stronger and have more defense with it. And there's a quality of life thing where Tibbers' collision radius was reduced slightly, so when running quick, he won't get minion blocked. That'll be kind of fun to watch the Tibbers run real quick, but it'll also give her a lot of extra damage because keeping that Tibbers on them is a lot of persistent damage. Some more things with Azir. There's just been Azir changes every patch, kind of bug fixes, things getting switched around. I haven't learned how to play Azir yet, so none of it's really affected me. So I'm just going to skip right over that. Cassiopeia changes here. The her Q costs more mana now, and her E costs more mana. Overall, I don't think that's going to be that big of a nerf end game. Like if you're getting blue buffs or not getting blue buffs, once you have your tier fully stacked, if you're managing your mana properly, it's going to separate good Cassios and bad Cassios. But if you manage it properly, that shouldn't be that much of a problem once your tier is fully stacked. Early on though, 15 mana, 15, 15 per cast of E is going to make those early all-ins a lot harder to pull off. But it's just 15 nerfed at every level. So at level 5, when you have all that tier stacked and it's 15 mana more, it's not going to feel as bad. And you leveled your Q. I level my Q second, so that's not going to hurt that much either, because by that point I'll have a lot of mana regen anyway. I do like this quality of life change that it now displays the amount of mana it will restore based on how much max mana you have, obviously. I think that's kind of nice. It might be cool, though, because Cassio, I think, was going to get really popular. She probably still will, but maybe not as much so. So I'll still be able to chain out Cassio games while other people just don't want to play her. Ton of fizz changes here. He lost the Deathfire, so lots of the stuff goes with that. The fish now kind of gives a Deathfire 20% increased damage for 6 seconds on your fished target, but it doesn't apply to the alt damage. So everything else is going to do a lot more damage. His Q does a lot less damage. AP ratio cut in half, base damage is almost cut in half as well at level 5. And it no longer deals damage if they move out of range. So just a lot less consistent damage from that. And the way Seastone Trident worked is changed around. It doesn't give grievous wounds anymore, so you might want to take Ignite if you're against a heavy healer. You don't just get it for free. Or I guess build a book of no Healy. But it does more damage on hit with less of an ability power ratio on the hit. But it also does the missing health per hit. So you might see some weirder like bruiser attack speed, more focused fizz, like magic pen attack speed fizz, which isn't going to like destroy someone, but they're going to be able to take off tankier targets theoretically. I don't know. I thought this change was really kind of different, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, as well as there's still does damage over time with an ability power ratio, but it's not based on the percentage missing health. So I don't know, weird changes there. Kha'Zix had a bug where his jump was 2 seconds shorter than it actually showed, but since Kha'Zix's not getting played that much anymore, even with that bug, they just kind of gave that to him as a minor buff. So the tooltip now shows the actual jump change. The actual value, since there was a bug, isn't unchanged. The Nidalee change, she can now hunt neutral monsters. What that means is she can put her mark on it, so then she'll be able to see over the wall to that monster, and also jump in cat form really far to that monster. So there's a lot of cool outplay techniques with that, as well as it might make, I've seen a lot of jungle Nidalees, but it might make it more prevalent to have a jungle Nidalee. I might actually want to try that myself too, because it sounds like it'd be super fun ganking like that, throwing a spear and then flying out of the jungle. Stab Tabby too. More Rek'Sai nerfs. Other than this buff, 10 seconds at all ranks knock-up immunity now goes down per level of W. You're going to level your W last pretty much in every situation, but end game you're going to be able to knock up people every 8 seconds rather than every 10, which will make a lot more CC in the fight. But just based attack damage nerfs on W and Q again. Shizwani Bugs was doing too much damage to towers. They really made the stun range on Syndra's knockback really small, so now they kind of balanced it back up. I guess it's halfway between where it was and where they nerfed it to. So yeah, I actually haven't seen that much Syndra lately, so that might have been something with that. Zed's attack speed base and growth got nerfed. Apparently his attack speed was rivaling Xin Zhao's and Trinimir's, which is they attack quickly because that's kind of like the way their champions are based. So he'll split push a little slower, but I think he'll still have that 1v1 potential that he's obviously always had and been based around. A lot more texture updates here. Jungle items now cost 100 more gold, so you might want to have to clear another camp to be at the same spot as you were, but getting that first blood in the jungle isn't going to snowball you super far ahead, because with first blood, with the 400 gold, you'd be able to buy this, have an upgraded smite before monsters even spawned, which made you just god tier in the jungle if you're able to do that. So I understand that change as well. The tier 3 cost 100 less because the first one cost 100 more. So in the end, it's the same price. Aether Wisp, kind of similar thing, cost 100 less, but the other things it builds into still the same price. So the upgrade seems to be 100 more, but it's only because you paid 100 less for this. So if you ever, if you ever got to move fast, uh, you can do it for a little bit cheaper. Very rare is a situation you'd really buy that so early though. Blackfire Torch, like I said, is gone. Elixir of Iron stacks multiplicatively instead of additively, so it's nerfed. A lot less tenacity overall total that you can get. Giant's Belt, this is the coolest change, one of the coolest changes I think out of the entire patch. Now builds out of a Ruby Crystal and 600. Total cost remains the same, but you can buy Ruby Crystals and then get Giant's Belts later. You don't have to, as like a top lane main and playing a lot of tanky champions, saving up that 100 gold, or sorry, 1,000 gold is often really hard. And I go back with like, say, 800, 900 gold, and I end up buying things that I don't even want to buy because I want health, but I just don't want to go back to lane with 900 gold and come back just to want to get 100 more just because I want that Giant's Belt. So I think that's really cool. That you can do that, as well as it says here, if you built a Ruby Crystal, you're technically most likely going for magic resist. If you built a Giant's Belt, you're going for armor. Just the way that those items filtered out in their build paths. So that's a good change. Hextech Gunblade, more AP focused, a little bit less AD, a lot more AP, a little bit less lifesteal. Just because the Deathfire was taken out, it's kind of an alternative for some champions that want more AP and different AP items. Rod of Ages shows the number of stack it has on the icon. That's kind of a just quality of life. And if you accidentally sell it and buy it back, which shouldn't change anything, apparently you were losing your stacks before. That doesn't happen anymore, so that's good. Stealth wards were staying visible for too long. I was kind of noticing that. I was like, well, how are we seeing that stealth ward? But it was just because there was a bug. Like, it would actually stay visible for a very long time. Enough time to get 3 auto attacks on it by yourself, even without attack speed, from what I was seeing. Bunch of changes to the Zzrot portal item. Long story short, it's treated like a tower. So when you're trying to damage the actual thing, if you're a mage, you wouldn't be able to do much damage to it before because you don't have a lot of AD. But as with towers, it'll take 40% of your total AP if that's higher than your total basic attack damage, and let you do that as your damage source. So it'll be easier to kill it. So you're not going to be like 1,000 AP mage and you're hitting this thing for like 10 health because you have no AD. So that's nice. A lot of overall changes on it. I'm not going to go over all of them, but if you want to check it out there, it has been changed. It kind of seems like a cool situational item for tanks that kind of want to split push, or might want to split push and use their teleport to like a split pushing advantage. Dragon now has longer attack range and attacks more often, but does about the same damage. So I guess they nerfed the damage a little bit just to kind of to reduce the exploits on that, I guess. This is another nice thing. Ranked team decay. We ran into this problem a lot at the end of Season 4. Teams would decay after 10 days, and you'd lose 250 points in Challenger, and then every day after that, you lose 250 points. We almost didn't get Challenger in 5s, simply because we were a day late, because we couldn't get people together. And it makes a lot of sense that 28 days, because on a ranked team, sometimes one person goes away, and that screws everyone else on the team if you're not able to get people, or you're going to have to play with subs, which you don't want to do either. So the 28 days there is nice. 10 days of inactivity in solo queue doesn't really matter. You can set your own schedule. If you can't play one game every 10 days, you're probably not Challenger anyway. You probably don't have enough practice to do it. Nemesis draft. I'm kind of excited to play Nemesis mode. We'll see. I'll probably try it. We'll see what I think about it. I never did try it on the PBE. Bit of volume changes to look into. If your sound sounds out of balance in game, it explains it right here. Bunch of bug fixes here. And quality of life changes. And then the new skins. Yeah, there wasn't really anything like super game breaking that they fixed or changed in the bug fix section. The new Velko skin looks really cool. I actually bought it, even though I've never really played Velkos. And then all the Warring Kingdom skins as well. Cat in Italy definitely needed more skins, so that's good that they got some more. And look at that, I kept it short. That's awesome. I managed to do it. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out my social media underneath it. My stream link's there as well. I do stream daily right now. So be sure to check that out. Follow if you want to see that when it's online as well, guys. And anyway, thank you for watching. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time.